Hi, Amelia of Shout Your Abortion here in New Orleans, Louisiana, for the 2017 Abortion Care Network annual meeting. You might remember that we came out last year to St. Petersburg. It was the first time that I had really met a bunch of independent providers and really talked to folks about why they do the work that they do. I am returning this year as a board member. Beyond that, it's been a super brutal year for abortion care providers in this country and really anybody in this country who cares about justice. It's a scary time, but I'm really excited to get in here and talk to these providers about why they are continuing to show up and do this work that they do, what it means to them, and what are we going to do next.
It's just the most rewarding and remarkable work you can do to be with somebody as they're shaping their life, shaping their family, and feeling empowered to make the decisions that do that for them. The reality is that the patients that we see as independent providers are not going to have another place to go if we're not there for them.
Right. When I found this work and really got to experience what it was to work in abortion care and what it was to work with women and help them in a way that enabled them to have the lives that they wanted, to be able to have the families that they want, that meant more to me than anything.
I think it's really rewarding and it's really special to be a part of such a vulnerable time in someone's life. I really feel like grateful to be able to be a part of these women's lives and to be a part of their journey.
You get inside the clinic walls, you momentarily forget how terrible the external world is, right? Because once you're in there, it's all about love and care and really respecting women's questions and the experience they want to have.
What is the point of abortion being legal if there is no place or people to provide the service?
I did my first abortion in Philadelphia, well, actually in Crozer, Chester, Pennsylvania, in 1970. Well, I saw women dying because they couldn't afford to achieve what their cohorts were coming just because they had the financial ability. And yet the procedure was so simple, safe, and quick. You know, it just. And then when I saw it happening, when I got a chance in 1988 to see the difference in the women and the difference it made in their lives, yet their self-addressed need for abortion, each was the same story that the girls had told me back in the 70s.
And the fact that I too have a story, and I don't mind sharing my story, and that also makes them feel comfortable. That's one of the first things I say, you know. I've sat on the other side of that table. I know what it feels like.
For the short amount of time that they're in our clinic, they're feeling trusted and cared for.
And I feel like that I'm helping women. It gives my heart a warm, fuzzy feeling when I know that I have helped a woman who has 3 children at home. Another pregnancy is going to affect the lives of those children. And when she hugs your neck and says, thank you, it's worth it all.
I feel like at this point it's my moral duty to continue to do everything that I can to make these services as available as possible to these people because they're being systematically oppressed. I want them to know that people are rooting for them and want to be there for them, you know.
I feel like I'm helping women celebrate life in either capacity, in the abortion clinic and just as well. And it's the same celebration, it's the same joy, it's the same relief that we have when I have women that, you know, have a baby and we're celebrating on that day. You know, she come through the clinic and she feels like she's already been judged so much. Maybe she's judging herself even more than outsiders. However, just releasing her and letting her know this is your decision. You don't owe anybody any explanation, and that is absolutely okay. And just in that moment, she decided she could just be quiet, have her procedure done, and leave with dignity.
Like abortion care providers, like you guys just get up and go every day because your patients need you, you know?
They're there, yeah. They're waiting in the parking lot for us to open the door.
I don't think there's anything else that is so transformative other than abortion care. And I think the people that work in abortion clinics certainly don't do it for the accolades. They do it because they're committed to the mission. And I've never met a more wonderful group of people than independent providers?
Well, I am a lesbian who is functionally infertile, so I've never had an abortion, and I probably never will have an abortion. But for me, it's a human rights issue. Bodily autonomy is something everyone deserves, including women who are also people. Surprise, surprise.
Right now, there are 5 states with a single abortion provider. It is an undue burden on the people, the medical community, the families who have not consented to have older white males determine when and if they create family. We are in the middle of a healthcare crisis.
When I was growing up, the older people used to say, when there was a civil rights setback, baby, in times like these, it's always been times like these. So I say that because we've never been in a period where those of us who are in pursuit of justice, whether it be racial or gender justice, have never had to contest for those rights. It's more pronounced now, but it's always been times like these. I say to people that we have to draw on our legacy of resiliency. So we simply have to refuse to relinquish our quest for righteousness and the moral arc bends towards right. So if you're on the right side of history, it's just a matter of time.
Pregnant people are finding their voice and sharing their stories and have a way to share their stories and can tell the world that we are good, just as we've been telling the world that they are good.
The important thing you can do to support abortion access is to say the words, like say abortion, say vagina, say penis, say clitoris, say all those words.
We're battling through, and we're going to do what it takes to stay open and provide the services. And it just does something to me knowing that, I'm standing up for my daughter, for my mother, for my sister. You got to stand up.
Breathe deep and fight deep isolation that oppression's thin veil can no longer maintain.